Hi there.
Finally get some answers after almost 7 months.
Since Angie disappeared from an Indianapolis home, her parents and friends have put up a reward, a billboard, and worn T-shirts with her picture.
We just don't know anymore, but we do know that she's out there somewhere and that she's waiting for us to find her.
Wednesday, Indianapolis and Muncie police raided and searched this Muncie home. IMPD investigators say they have information that there may be a connection between the people staying here and Angie's disappearance.
Holiday Park here on the north side of Indianapolis, which they did yesterday, led by Angie's mother, Christina Kramer, who fought the hilly, rough terrain and also fought back tears.
We're scared, we're angry. It's almost like you're lost. You just don't know what to do. There's so many things that go through your head, and you want to do so much, but you just don't know where to start. I don't know if she's hurt, if she's cold, because I don't know where she is. We have no idea where she is or what's happened to her, but we gotta find her. We have to find her.
Now, over the past few weeks, the family has held prayer vigils, even a bowling fundraiser to scrape together a $5,000 reward. But still,
have a lot of recent evidence and information to follow up on. As you mentioned, I spoke with the Barlow family this afternoon. They were gracious to share their thoughts in the hours after learning once and for all their daughter will not be coming home. It's hard to imagine what the call would be like. A coroner on the other end of the phone requesting a meeting.
Even sitting in the coroner's office, we still were hoping that we was going to find her alive.
On Tuesday, a tip led police to a house on East 43rd Street. There they found a body underneath some brush in a wooded area. The tipster said it would be that of 23-year-old Angela Barlow. She's a Muncie woman who was last seen leaving a party in Indianapolis last October.
I know the police were actively working. I know they had questioned a lot of people.
For hours Tuesday, police scoured near where the body was found for evidence and information, but they couldn't be sure Barlow was the victim. Today, though, that meeting with the coroner confirmed it. It's hard to imagine what it would be like to be shown photos of a discarded body with the chance that it could be your child. Unfortunately, the Barlows can now say exactly what it's like.
To have to sit somewhere and identify your 23-year-old daughter. And the thoughts going through your head was, she's never going to be a mom. She's never going to be an aunt. She's never going to get married.
Now the family's sights are set on justice.
I want the person or persons responsible for this. I want them prosecuted. I want them put away.
And to that person, a message. While loved ones ache, knowing even a conviction won't undo the almost unimaginable pain.
I would just like to say that whoever did this took one of the biggest pieces of me, and I can't get that back. So
gripped each other, and they walked at a snail's pace to the spot where their Angie was found. After some moments alone on the scene, the grieving parents talked. They talked about the pain that their daughter was found under some brush in a shallow grave.
While everybody else was enjoying Thanksgiving and Christmas, whoever did this was off celebrating with their families. She lay in a pile of dirt in a hole in the ground. And that back there, that is unforgivable. How do you do that to somebody and go home and sleep at night? You're a monster.
Today was a tough day for the couple. See, the coroner's office released Angie's body to her parents this morning. Then later on, they were in the midst of making funeral arrangements, and then they decided to do this: make a trip from Muncie to Indy to see where Angie's body was discovered. As the investigation continues, police have made no arrests, and there has been no public information as to who may be responsible.
Pictures from her services. Now, you may recall Barlow went missing after working at a party in Indianapolis in October. Last month, a tip led IMPD officers to a residential area where they found a body and some brush. The body was later identified as Angie. Her cause of death is still ongoing.
There was just no turning back.
Lauren Van Sickle is talking about Angie Barlow, the 23-year-old woman who disappeared in late 2016. Her missing person case turned into a murder investigation in the summer of 2017 after an agonizing 8 months for her friends and family. But Lauren is neither friend nor relative.
I'd never met her ever in my life.
Lauren tells me she and Angie were distantly connected through mutual friends. That's how she first learned of Angie's disappearance. Social media posts from those who knew and loved Angie.
It was about day 2 that I was made aware of the story and just kind of jumped into following it just right off the bat.
From then to now, Lauren continues to bring new light to Angie's unsolved murder, highlighting the case and the locally produced podcast Crime Pursuit.
So now we're at the point where you've become roommates. So can you tell us about that time? Where was Angie working? What was your day-to-day routine?
There's going to be 3 episodes on Angie's murder. In the first, they discuss how Angie ended up at the last place she was known to be alive, the Landmark Apartments and townhomes on the far north side of Indianapolis.
This would be the first time she would have done a private party for someone she didn't actually know.
Angie was an exotic dancer, working at Club Rio. She had just returned from a costly trip to Florida and needed money. Lauren says the same person who set up this private party had actually tried to set up a similar thing 2 weeks earlier. This time, the arrangement worked out.
She arrived to the home. She sent a text and said, here's the address of where I'm at in case I go missing, which sadly turned into a very prophetic message to her friend.
Angie was unsure about going to the private party. The friend she messaged says she begged Angie not to go, but Angie, feeling like she could handle herself, decided to anyway.
We know other people were in that apartment because she walked into that apartment and was comfortable at one point to get changed, take the Snapchat picture, and send it out.
This screenshot from a Snapchat video would end up being the last thing Angie ever shared online.
We don't believe Angie ever left that apartment alive. So we fully believe that night was the last night of her life.
Police haven't said what they believe happened to Angie between 11:30 that night and 3:30 the next morning. That's when Angie's car was recorded by security cameras leaving the Landmark Apartments, followed closely by another car.
One gate opening, like not a pause even to wait for the gate to close, and another car, but I'm talking 2 cars fitting through that gate motion at one time.
Angie was usually in constant contact with her friends, so it was odd when she didn't meet up with them at Club Rio after the party like they planned.
Normally when she did things like this, when she was leaving, she would have called and said, this is how much money I made in tips. Like, it went really well.
One of her friends became extremely worried the following afternoon, more than 16 hours since anyone had heard from Angie. That friend eventually called her parents to let them know something was up.
They're literally some of the strongest people I've ever met.
This began an 8-month ordeal for Angie's family. Posting on Facebook, putting up billboards, banners, and flyers, pleading with the public for any information that could help them find their loved one.
It was here at Landmark Apartments on October 27th of last year when these cameras captured a blue car leaving the complex around 3:30 in the morning.
It was definitely kind of eerie watching that.
Christina Kramer says that blue car, a Pontiac G6, belonged to her daughter, Angie.
Was she in either one of those cars? Was she alive at that time? Was she dead at that time? It's all the unknown that just kind of raced through your head all at one time.
Pictures from that surveillance video show Angie's blue car pulling out with a black car following right behind. Kramer says detectives couldn't really get much from that video.
She was just a girl from a small town, Muncie to be exact, who loved her family, she loved her Pablo, and of course life. The days turned into months and police released nothing new about Angie. But let's go back to this video right here. You see Angie's car leaving the complex as we showed you earlier. Detectives believe Angie may have been in the trunk of her own car. In the car right behind Angie's, detectives were able to get a license plate number, and they tied it to a couple who hosted the private party, a couple Angie had problems with because she used to date the guy.
We believe that that couple set our daughter up. We
have been told that they tried to get Angie to do this private party for a couple of months.
We're learning that police questioned the couple. They admitted they were at the party, but they say that was about it. And so far, investigators don't have enough information to label the couple as suspects. And then a couple of days later, they skip town. So now we're left with a mom and dad, waiting for justice.
Currently, there are no updates regarding Angie Barlow's case. However, I do want to go over some theories in regards to Angie's disappearance and ultimate demise. Theory number one would be that someone at the private party knows more than they said, and that's a common theory among people. As well as Angie disappeared after being hired to dance at a private party, which they discussed in several of the video clips, and that she never made it home. Law enforcement has repeatedly emphasized that people who were present that night are key to finding out more about what happened to her. In many cases like this, the truth stays buried because witnesses stay silent, not because police have no idea where to look. Theory number two would be it was an accidental death followed by a cover-up. Angie may have died unintentionally and panic led to concealment. Could have been an overdose, an accidental injury, a confrontation that escalated unexpectedly, and instead of people calling for help, someone may have tried to hide what happened, turning an accident into a homicide investigation. This theory comes up a lot because her body was hidden, not left where she died. That usually suggests fear of consequences, not necessarily premeditation. Multiple people were involved or aware, and some believe more than one person either participated in moving or hiding her body, or knew afterwards and chose not to come forward. Cases involving private gatherings sometimes stall because responsibility is spread out, making it easier for everyone to stay quiet. Theory number four is evidence exists, but not enough to prosecute. Yet, this is a quieter but very realistic theory that police may have strong suspects and know what happened in broad terms, but lack a corroborative witness. Forensic evidence is not strong enough for court, and that would explain why the case remains open. Authorities periodically execute search warrants, and no charges have been announced publicly. Prosecutors won't move unless they're confident they can win. And so that could be an issue going on now, that there more than likely are things that have been discovered by law enforcement and things that they have looked further into, but they're not telling the public for many reasons. It is my belief that Angie was set up. I don't know what the intention was. Was it always intended to unalive her, or was it an attempt to rob her because they may have knew about Angie having access to her grandmother's account? That seems like a more plausible theory to me, but who knows? It could be a multitude of things. I pray that one day, and one day soon, that Angie's family find out what happened to her, and that there's resolution in the case, and that people who are responsible are brought to justice. And thank you so much for watching.